Hey friends, welcome back to more Reddit stories. Today we're jumping into r/IDontWorkHereLady, so let's get right into today's Reddit posts. You don't work here, dude. I've had I don't work here experiences, but never a you don't work here. I was helping out during a large festival a few towns over from me, basically just filling in where I was needed. Employees came from various places, but we all had on the same neon green staff shirt, so it was easy to find us. A few people approached me asking why they started charging for parking. Weird, because they hadn't, and I knew that because I had just been parking people a few hours beforehand. The group told me a guy in a neon shirt told them it was $5, gave them change and everything, handed them a parking tag, and then directed them to another neon shirt. I grabbed a security guy and we went over to see if we could figure out what was going on. This guy, I don't know if I should be mad or impressed, got a neon green shirt and spray painted staff on the back. From far away, it looked totally legitimate, to the point we glanced around and didn't notice him. We approached him originally to ask him if he had seen anyone fishy around. When he looked up, I noticed a small face tattoo. Not that they wouldn't employ someone with a face tattoo, but I probably would have noticed at the staff meeting we had the day before. After that, we noticed his homemade shirt and lack of radio or badge. Security guy talked to him and said, "Hey bud, you can't just make a shirt and start charging people to park. If you give the money back and trash the shirt, just get out of here and we won't call the cops." And the fake worker says, "Oh no, John said we ran out of shirts and had to make me this one." John who? John, big guy. He's around here somewhere. Spoiler, there is no John. It's funny he picked that name because we had 4 Johns the year before, and had made a huge joke out of not having to figure out which John was which, since we didn't have a single one. We also way over-ordered staff shirts, so we had like 30 left over. Security guy says, "I know all the staff. There is no John. There are also plenty of staff shirts. One more time, give the money back and trash the shirt." Hey man, I don't tell you how to do your job. Why tell me how to do mine? This isn't your job, that's why. I tried the easy way. It's on you now. Security guy calls the cops and we stay by him, making sure he doesn't try to charge anyone else. Made for a few amusing interactions, when the fake worker tried to tell passing cars to pay, and we immediately yell over him saying there is no charge for parking. Cops come, and boss. Boss says, "Who in their right mind is charging to park?" They see the fake worker. "You, who are you?" Cops walk up. "Officers, this man is not on my staff, yet is charging to park in my free lot." "Whoa, hey John, calm down." Boss gives a weird look like, "Who's John?" "You can't just call the cops every time we have a disagreement. If you're that mad I didn't order enough shirts, just fire me, damn." Me, security, and boss almost at the same time said, "You're not staff." This guy was kind of hilarious. Cops took him aside and he tried so hard to convince them he was staff. They asked him various questions like how he applied, how much they paid, when we started or ended, and of course, he couldn't answer any of them. Luckily, since he handed out parking tags that were printed at home and stuck on cardboard, it was very easy to find how many cars he charged and who. About 20 cars in the half hour or so he was there before we came. Had he just given up when we caught him, he wouldn't have been arrested. Boss made an announcement for anyone who paid to park to come to the main entrance. Managed to get everyone their money back. Pretty fun to be the guy handing people back money, but was awkward to explain about the fake staff member. Next year, we're getting more detailed shirts so they're harder to copy, and taking optional donations in the parking lot to give to our local soup kitchen. We figured we might as well. Also gives us an excuse to keep someone stationed around where he was taking money, which was a weird turn that's not super visible from the rest of the festival. I just can't wrap my head around it. Dude put a lot of effort into faking his way into a job that probably would have just hired him. I bet he's in jail now, still saying John screwed him over. Apparently I'm a doctor. So let's say my name is John Doe. I often get phone calls that go like, "Hey, John?" I reply something sensible and they go, "Listen, I have such and such issue with a patient." It's always annoying calls about medical events or colleagues. Bear in mind I'm an engineer. So this idiot, Dr. John Poe, has a name that's almost identical to mine, and decided whenever someone annoyed him, he gives him the same wrong number, my number. And every other call I get is a "I don't work here" scenario. adding SMS and WhatsApp. I got fed up, found his number, and tried contacting him to no avail. I sent him a message with a lawyer who contacted me and knew him personally and a girl he was dating, to no avail. So I figured I would have some fun. I know for a fact he sees face to face some of these people. So I started interrupting them as they began asking. Once I knew they were not patients and hanging up, I said stuff like, "Sorry, can't talk. I just found out I'm getting a divorce." Some of the excuses I used are got herpes, I'm in jail. Silly, more or less harmless stuff. Then I ran out of ideas and began saying things to the effect of, "It's not urgent, but I really need to discuss something with you." I wasn't trying to get him into trouble or worry anyone too much, but annoy him. So one day I get a call from John. He wants me to stop, is quite mad, wants me to change numbers. That's not gonna happen. That's the last time I heard of John. Kinda miss him, actually. Not taking trash is assault? Some background, I'm a plumber and I'm only 18. I went to a trade school for high school and came out with a full-time job as an apprentice. This happened about 5 months ago and has had me messed up ever since. I was working in a 4-story building inside the city, and there's only one elevator, which we weren't allowed to use because of the companies that worked in the building itself, and then only one spiral square staircase. My journeyman and I were wrapping up our day and packing up everything. As the younger guy, I was sweeping and taking the loads back down to the truck to get ready to leave and on one of my last trips. I was only taking a trash bag and a few of the hand tools I hadn't grabbed yet. I'm in my normal work clothes, but my boss isn't strict about wearing company clothing, so I'm only wearing my Dickies pants and a beat-up sweatshirt with no labels. I start walking down the stairs with the trash from the 4th floor to the bottom, when a worker from a networking/caller helpline company from the 3rd floor walked out with the trash bag. I briefly walked past, just finishing my day, when she scoffed at me. Me being the kid I am, turned around and said, "I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. I didn't mean to bump into you," and continued down. And then she said, "Here, take this shit. I got a call I need to get on." I said that I was sorry and I didn't work for the building, and it's not my job to take it. So she then exclaims, "You're dressed as a janitor? My son is one too. You dress just like him. He has the same tools on him all day." I tried to tell her that I didn't, and that I'm a plumber working above her on 4th. In retrospect, yes, I could have taken it, but there wasn't one of those giant trash bins to put trash in, so we had to take it back to the shop to dispose of, and we didn't have much room for more in the van. I started to get annoyed, but I just remembered that I need to take breaths and walk away. I start going down the stairs when she grabbed the back of my hoodie and yanked it. I spun around like, what the hell? And she slammed the bag into my stomach, sending me stumbling down the stairs. This was when one of her coworkers comes out because of the commotion, and she starts fake crying, saying I sexually harassed her, and that she shoved me down the stairs in an attempt to save herself. I tried to say something getting up, but the guy was on the phone with the cops already, and he took her away to calm her down. I started to get so mad at this woman, but my coworker came to me and said everything would be fine. This is when the biggest blessings ever occurred. My buddy loves to mess with me. He'd take videos of me working or being oblivious, and he'd throw coins at me to be funny or dump water on me just as a joke, to lighten up the day a bit. Well, he recorded the interaction, and the lady never knew he was there. Reason why spiral staircase was important. By the time he made sure I was alright, the cops were there about 10 minutes after the whole thing went down. They talk to the woman and they take her side of things first. They start questioning me in the stairwell, and my buddy said he witnessed it and had a video. He began to show the video to the cop of literally everything. From the moment I began down the stairs and past this lady, to her shoving me down the stairs. The cop talks to her, and from the second he said there was a video, she turned ghost white. They took her downstairs to the cruiser, and the cop came back to me, asking if I needed assistance or an ambulance, as I had a gash on my elbow when I stumbled down. But I was totally fine though, just in complete shock. He also asked if I wanted to press charges, and I said I would. In the following time since this happened, I've taken her to court. She's been charged, and is serving time for assault and battery and another thing I don't recall. What's important to know, as I'm realizing now, is that there were no cameras in the stairwell. I would have been screwed. Absolutely screwed. It was a huge reality check for myself. I could be sitting in jail serving time for something I didn't do at this very moment. It could have ruined my life, to be quite honest. Luckily, my buddy was there, and ever since then I have never complained once about him messing around with me. Shortly after this, the building installed new cameras everywhere. Being 5 months later, my parents have been awesome in teaching me about all this stuff, especially since I'm a man and it can get scary with accusations like that. They believed me, and I've always been raised by them to treat women right, and I'm the kid who wouldn't hurt a fly. I should be fired for ramming a cart into my truck. I had gone grocery shopping and was taking my stuff out to my truck in the cart. As I pull up to the truck, I let the cart hit the bumper. All of a sudden, a male Karen appears. "What the hell, you think that's okay?" "What?" I ask. "What the f*** is wrong with you?" "Sir, I don't know. You hit that truck with the cart. I can't believe you are so irresponsible. You should be fired for that." I realize he thinks I work there. I tell him a basic "I don't work here," and start loading my groceries in the back as this dude yells at me. I thought this dude would realize that it's my truck I hit. He didn't. "That thing is a classic. I want to see your manager because that was unacceptable." Turning to him, because I don't think he heard what I said, I repeated myself. "I don't work here, dude. This is my... Don't give me that bullshit. I want to speak to your manager." Then one of the guys that does work there came up. He asked if there was a problem. The dude started ranting at him that I had scraped the cart along the truck after ramming it. He wanted me fired. The employee looks at me and asked if I was done with the cart so I could take it back. I said yes, grabbed my last bag I sat in the back. Then I went and got in my truck and started it up. The male Karen's face got rather red as I pulled away. For the record, my truck is a mid-90s S10. Technically a classic in my state, but not what I would think of as a classic. Also very rough condition. And that's all for today, friends. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Be sure to hit that like button and also subscribe if you haven't already. So I'm out of here. Take care, and I'll see you next time.